Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. We start tonight off with some breaking news out of Hazleton, where both city and state police have blocked off the surrounding roadways of a reported standoff. The standoff appears to be taking place at a home on the corner of 2nd and Carson Streets. One man was taken into custody, but there's no word on his identity at this time. Our Philip Kaufman is currently on the scene, so we'll have more information as it's made available on tomorrow night's newscast. 9 men were charged by authorities in Luzerne County for allegedly trying to solicit sex from children online. The roundup was made possible through Kingston Police, the Luzerne County District Attorney's Special Victims Unit, and predator catcher Musa Harris. Sean Lewandowski, George Fies, Michael Halley, and Christopher Santo were taken into custody and arraigned. Others charged include former Director of Literacy at Valley View School District, Christopher Mazzino, John Davenport, William Lee Lewis, Zachary Mitchell, and another unidentified male. The Kingston Police Chief said this is only round 1 and that there's more to come. A special anniversary and ribbon cutting was celebrated earlier today in downtown Hazleton. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more on the milestone at Luzerne County Community College.
The Luzerne County Community College Hazleton Center celebrated its milestone 20th anniversary today. Community members were in attendance at the center in the Broad Street Exchange to hear from administrators and also from students whose lives were changed by the LTRIC experience.
Everything here has been at home for me more than anything. I never look at it as school for you to go to or something like that, or like that you have projects to finish for your classes. It's more of like you learn what you truly love. And that's something that I always say. When you truly are doing what you really love, that's the more important thing ever.
LCCC President Thomas Leary remembers when the Hazleton Center first opened and highlighted the progress that has been made over the past 2 decades.
Looking back, reflecting 20 years today, it's a rather emotional moment. Because when we listen to the fact that we have served thousands of citizens in the Hazleton area, but more importantly, we have served many people who never envisioned that they were going to be able to get a college education, that they were never going to be able to get on that start where they could change their life and change their family's life. So most importantly, this is more a human story today. It's about people's lives and changing it.
Visitors today got a first-hand look at the school's new state-of-the-art science and math labs. They were added to provide students with additional educational tools and resources.
Number one of the highest demanding professional opportunities in northeastern Pennsylvania is in the health sciences area. Science Lab will provide a cohort of courses that will get them in place to be able to get into those programs, to apply and be able to be admitted to those programs.
Students will also have access to the brand new Mac Lab.
It's really about I'm going to describe it as micro-credentialing. In education for many, many years, we're always thinking about degree and certificates, handing someone a degree. But micro-credentialing is about preparing people in a short term for jobs that are available in the workforce.
The college has helped students like Jordani move forward towards a bright future and plans to continue to do so for future students who walk through their doors.
Future students, I just have one thing. If you want to really, truly love what you do, come to LCC. They will teach you the right way to get where you want to be. They will teach you what's truly important for your career.
For more information, visit luzerne.edu. In Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. The 2020 Republican candidate for the 8th Congressional District of Pennsylvania officially announced his return to the campaign trail. And our Philip Kaufman has the details.
We're here at the public square in downtown Wilkes-Barre as Jim Bognet has once again announced his run for Congress in the Pennsylvania 8th Congressional District.
Well, my name's Jim Bognet, and I'm announcing that I'm running for Congress here in Public Square in Wilkes-Barre. I think Northeast Pennsylvania deserves a congressman that'll fight for strong borders, that'll fight to create jobs, and will fight for election integrity in Northeast Pennsylvania. So I'm excited to get my campaign started again. We ran a great campaign last year, and this year we're going to take back America.
In 2020, Bognet ran amongst a large group of Republican candidates and was chosen as the official candidate during the primaries. And when November came around, it was a tight race with incumbent Matt Cartwright pulling ahead after mail-in ballots were counted, accumulating 51.7% of the vote.
Well, I got over 165,000 votes last year here in the 8th District of Pennsylvania, and we had an extremely close election. I was up 10,000 votes on election night. We need clean elections, but even more important, I think we've seen an outpouring of support. People realize that if they keep going in the same direction with the Biden and Cartwright and Pelosi liberalism, inflation's out of control, prices are up everywhere, we're seeing COVID problems still across the country. We need a change. We need a new direction. We need to take back America. I can't wait to get started.
Bognet continues to advocate for the platforms he believes are important to citizens in PA's 8th Congressional District.
Well, I'm about jobs. We need more and better jobs in Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm about inflation. We need to stop inflation. We don't need to spend $5 trillion more like Cartwright, Pelosi, and Biden want to do. We need to cut taxes and cut spending. And also immigration. You know, I've seen in Hazelton, Pennsylvania, the negative effects of illegal immigration. We need to stop the flood of drugs and illegals across the border. You know, last month we saw tens of thousands of Haitian immigrants in horrible conditions being trafficked across the border. We need to stop that on our southern border. And I guess I'd say lastly, we need Northeast PA values. Pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, not voting with Nancy Pelosi, which is what Matt Cartwright does all the time. I will always stand up for Northeast Pennsylvania, not for Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco like my opponent Matt Cartwright does.
And the congressional election isn't here just yet, but with this announcement, Bognet will begin to hit the campaign trail and gather support.
They should go to Bognet, Bognet, for FOR, Congress.com. Bognetforcongress.com to learn more. Go to our Twitter page, go to our Facebook page. We'll be all over social media. Can't wait to see people on the campaign trail, and can't wait for this election to come next year.
Reporting from Public Square in Wilkes-Barre with WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. State police are alerting motorists to expect traffic delays during President Biden's visit to Scranton tomorrow. Rolling roadblocks and closures will take place on Interstate 81 north and southbound between the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport and the Scranton exits. Some roads in the Electric City will also be closed between the hours of 3 and 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Drivers are encouraged to plan alternate routes during the president's visit. An investigation revealed the cause of a fatal accident that happened in Butler Township back in April. 35-year-old Crystal Stash of Dallas and her passenger, 28-year-old Henry Abrams of New Jersey, were killed during the crash along the North Hunter Highway near Sleepy Hollow Road back on April 3rd of this year. Stash was driving a Tesla Model X at the time of the accident, but authorities found no proof that the car was being driven autonomously. Rather, the crash was said to be caused by driver error. A fundraiser was held yesterday to benefit the Hazelton Integration Project. Los Angeles Angels manager and Hazelton native Joe Madden hosted his annual Try Not to Suck golf tournament at the Valley Country Club. Funds from the tournament go toward programs at the Hip Center that help young people participate in educational and athletic activities. The Hip Center has been open since 2011 and helped thousands of children through the past decade. Madden wanted to establish the center as a way to unite the many different cultures that make up the Hazelton area. The center also offers a bilingual pre-K program and an after-school program for children grades K through 8th. A settlement agreement was reached between Schuylkill County Commissioners and Stephen Lukacs Jr. The $13,410.84 represents pension payments and other amounts Lukacs would have received had the county not stopped paying them 5 months early. The 71-year-old pled guilty October 20th of last year to one count of mail fraud and falsification of records, and was to start serving his sentence November 17th of that year. He was sentenced 27 months imprisonment, 2 years of supervised release, a special assessment of $200, and restitution of $15,927.24 to the U.S. District Court. That, in turn, goes to the county. Lukács served as the clerk of courts for 27 years before his 2014 resignation. Former President Donald Trump filed suit Monday against the Congressional committee investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection. The federal lawsuit seeks to bar the release of 125 pages of files requested by the committee. Trump stated it was almost limitless in scope and sought records with no reasonable connection to that day, calling it a vexatious, illegal fishing expedition, untethered from any legitimate legislative purpose. The suit also cites that the documents potentially hold the, quote, most sensitive of national security secrets. The suit also challenges the legality of the Presidential Records Act, arguing that allowing an incumbent president to waive executive privilege of a predecessor just months after they left office is inherently unconstitutional. President Joe Biden has said he'd go through each request separately to determine whether that privilege should be waived. Coming up on WYLN News, no tricks, just treats. Plus, Santa's skipping the Scranton parade. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name's Jackson. It looks like it's sunny tomorrow.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton, has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
The County of Lackawanna Transit Systems partnering with the Luzerne County Transportation Authority to offer a spooktacular treat. Colts and LCTA are offering a week of free rides on all bus routes from Monday, October 25th through Saturday, October 30th. ADA passengers will also ride at no cost during that week. The joint No Tricks, Just Treats campaign is an effort to increase ridership at both agencies. And fast forwarding a bit, Santa's on his way, just not for the parade in Scranton. The Santa Parade announced Monday morning that Old St. Nick and this year's holiday celebrations were canceled due to COVID concerns. The last time the parade was held was in 2019, and this year would have marked 29 years of 29 Santa visits to the Electric City. The Santa Parade says that it's now working on something very special to brighten the holiday season next year. Oh, say, can you sing Pennsylvania? Singers across the state are invited to enter a Star-Spangled Sing-Off to win a chance to inspire 2022 Pennsylvania Farm Show visitors with their voices. The contest will determine which talented Pennsylvanian will have the honor of singing the national anthem live at 8 each morning of the Farm Show, which will run from January 8th through the 15th. The contest is open to Pennsylvanians of all ages, both individuals and groups. Contestants enter by emailing agcontests@pa.gov with a link to a video of themselves singing the Star-Spangled Banner without instrumental accompaniment before noon on Friday, November 5th. Full contest details are available at farmshow.pa.gov or on their Facebook page. Coming up on Beach Haven's News Choice, we're talking suicide prevention on this Trooper Talk Tuesday, plus Leading the Way, Part 2. Stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on WYLN. We are joined, as always, by State Trooper Anthony Petrosky. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Folks, it's Suicide Prevention Month, and we're talking today about resources, how PSP is involved in helping respond to these kind of situations, and what you can reach out, and how you can reach out to them, and just general advice if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, or just in general, you know someone who's struggling, and how to just handle that kind of thing, because it's important to be there for and supportive of those people who are struggling, and especially now it's been very difficult times. There's a lot of financial stress out there. There's a lot of just general stress out there, and I think that it's important to talk about. So why don't we start off just, I guess, in general, and I think this is kind of a common misconception. Some people think that it's like, I have to report you to the cops, but it's more of like a putting that concern out there. So for people who are from the outside, whether it's a family member, I mean, obviously if you're somebody from totally outside the situation, I think it's a little odd, but I think for family members, friends, co-workers, what's the best advice you can give for them witnessing somebody who may be suffering from that level of depression?
Yeah, well, it's important to start off by saying if anybody witnesses somebody that thinks they're a harm to themselves or somebody else, then it should be 911 immediately.
Yeah.
If you're unsure of what their capabilities are, you need to contact the police so we could come and handle the situation in the safest way possible. If it's not to that level yet, you need to have these conversations with people because, sometimes they just need somebody to talk to. That might be all it takes, but, just because somebody's having these unfortunate thoughts doesn't mean you need to call us immediately. If they're willing, if you talk to them and they're willing to go with you to the hospital, you can take them directly to the hospital and talk to a counselor up there, get them some help. But again, it's very important to note if you think they're a harm to themselves or somebody else, 911 is your immediate call. And when we get there, we do everything we can to diffuse the situation. Our goal is to get that person to go with us to the hospital. We'll have an ambulance staging nearby so they could go with the ambulance directly to the hospital to get the help that they need. The reason why we get involved is if they're threatening to harm themselves or somebody else. And that's very important to cover because that's why we get involved. But then we're kind of the middle person. We just want to be able to safely get them from the scene to the hospital so they can get the correct treatment that they need to get right back on path.
And I guess handling those kind of situations, obviously it's a difficult time, and as troopers, I guess, could you talk to us a little bit about how that process goes in the training and just in the process of becoming a state trooper, how you guys handle, I guess, in your practice, allowing for troopers to understand how to facilitate those situations?
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's a difficult situation because we're talking about, somebody threatening to take their own life, and we don't want that. We want to be able to get them some help. So again, it's all about our communication with them. We'll do whatever we can in that certain situation to be able to diffuse the situation. We have tons of training on this, being able to negotiate with people. We all get that training in the academy, but each situation is unique in itself. So we do what we can to be able to bring that person down a level and be able to get them the treatment that they need because, sometimes they think when we show up, well, you're going to arrest me. That's not the case. We're not there to arrest a person. We want to be able to gain control to get them help. That's all it is. And when we're called, again, it's at that level where they might hurt somebody or hurt themselves. So that's our play in the game. We want everybody out there to be safe. And our goal is to get them to a safe environment, meaning the hospital, where they can get treatment and get them where they need to be.
And I guess for folks watching, I mean, some people may be watching and may be struggling, and I guess for you being a person who I think a lot of people look to and look up to, is there anything for anybody in our audience who might be, worrying about themselves, worrying about their thoughts, that you could say to them?
Yeah, that's a great point. Don't be ashamed to reach out. It takes a big person actually to reach out and say, you know what, I need a little bit of help. Get ahead of the game. Make that phone call. Reach out to somebody you trust, a friend, a family member, a neighbor, somebody you trust, and say, you know what, I'm going through some issues here, I need some help. This way they can help you. They can give you that ride. They can give you that comfort, and you need to make that decision. So you want to know what? I need to go talk to somebody and get some help. Don't let it get too far. Reach out and never be ashamed of it.
All right. Folks, please, if you are struggling, if there's anything, or if you know someone who is struggling, talk to them, reach out to them. If you are struggling, reach out to someone. And I know that's a tough thing to say, but there are people out there who care and love you, and there is always help. You can always reach out to anyone. And in any of those situations, if it gets to the point where you're worried for someone's sake, you can eventually reach out to 911. If they are going to harm themselves or harm someone, you should reach out to 911 to get them the professional trained individuals who can come into the situation if it gets to that level.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for talking with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you folks for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday on WYLN.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, our own Chris Fulmer is leading the way again into part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Chris Fulmer. So, working in television, what was it like to first, get into TV and to work with TV, and then on top of it, I guess, what was it like the first moment that you got to be on TV?
Well, I was hired in the summer of 2005. Since I got it through the AHEAD program, their advisor, Mrs. Kathy Couch, came up with me. It was a bit comical at first since we couldn't find Master Control's light switch at first when we first came in, but after that, the day went pretty smoothly. I am grateful, eternally grateful, to our esteemed colleague Jeff Bonomo for giving me the chance to be on Off the Beaten Path after he noticed some of my trip photos. I should add that with autism, being on vacation is a little harder being outside of the established areas, although I have gotten better with that over time. So being able to travel as much and profile these places, which I hope does increase their profile and profits for them, does give me a feeling of accomplishment that I am doing some good in the world, which is why I'm somewhat desperate to do, to know that I have done well.
Yeah.
When I first saw myself on TV, it was a bit of pride to know that I was taking such a big step, and there's still somewhat of that feeling today with each new segment I am on the air. Now, working in Master Control, I should say that you find over the years that everything that can go wrong will go wrong at some point or another. It's how you work around it that was that which I try to do to the best of my abilities. And I think for the most part I do, and the staff is glad that I try.
All right. All right, folks, check back tomorrow night as Chris continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.